once my little girl comes home, and I get home, I just ask my housekeeper, what is available? Oh yeah, just give me. If he's around, trust me, it's not what is available. Oh. He ate this yesterday, he will not want to eat this. Hey, how can we quickly fix this? How can we quickly do? So I'm resting, I'm breathing, and I love the fact that he took time off, and it's something that he has never done before. This is the first. In fact, some ladies were shocked that, you are not traveling together. And I like it, and I want more of it, because we need to have so we're coming together as whole partners. I don't believe in better half. No, I'm not a half human being. I'm complete. You're complete. When we come together, we pull forces together. So that codependency, a lot of couples don't want to talk about it, but it ruins the marriage. Yeah. So sometimes that break is needed. So if I have girlfriends who you have tested and trusted over time, they are reliable, why can't I carry my bag and have a good time?
Okay, so let me add this. Nothing that happened is not all the time. Even that one that happened is once. Yes. And you know there are women that work, place of work like this, and they send them on foreign trips.
Yes.
And they go alone, and they don't go with their husbands. They go on foreign trips, and they stay on their own, and they stay alone. You understand? And besides,
Ramatu, please, I think the idea. Adekola, then I'll come to you. Don't forget your thoughts. Adekola, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
We can hear you.
Now, the ladies are doing a very good job.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you for your acts.
Thank you.
Yes, I am here right now. You are doing a very good job. I appreciate you. The problem is this: a woman that is in the house, even if you see Nima, some may ask a man to dress like a woman, and the husband is out. This is more or less something that was written in a book. And the man dressed like a woman and was staying with the woman, with the wife.
Oh.
So what we are saying is that it depends on the maturity of the woman that is traveling out.
Okay, Ramatu.
Okay, so I think the thing is because most men, they know what they do when they travel out, only them. And that's the reason why once there's girls trip, they always raise eye, whatever, and all of that. That's why
they do when they go.
But the truth is this, girls trip, right? I've been on several, and it's what we do mostly is, all by ourselves. We are talking to each other. If you are already in a group, automatically, there's going to be like something like, why don't we go out together? Why don't we just do something just only us and everything? We talk about our homes. We talk about our children. We talk about our husbands, how to move forward.
We also talk about
we also talk about all of these things as girls, as women. We have a life. You understand? So if once a woman is filled up like that, when she comes back, she becomes different. When you travel out there, Nima, when you travel out there, you learn, you see a lot of things. You see plenty things. You will grab, come back.
And
when you travel,
and stop facing me.
When you travel,
wait.
When you
Hold
travel,
on a minute.
Hold on, Nima. When you travel,
I want to
go and buy
Auntie,
beautiful ones.
Don't forget the details of this conversation. You're missing it. Nobody say we cannot travel. They say who you go travel with.
Girls.
Girls are being your husband. Because if now about that thing we won't go. My father says traveling is exposure. It works better like an education.
Yes.
You go travel with your husband, you know go still get the exposure. You know be to look the thing so you go look.
It's different.
No, it's the same thing. Now, if you want to talk about excelling,
it's different.
Ramatu, you don't do it better than I do. I told you I have group of relationships for every season.
Okay.
That's the way I run my life. I excel well, and I still do it within the confines of my book that I follow as a faith. In my house, I can be having my own session of excelling. I can decide, tomorrow is so person that is hosting. I have a spa session with my girls. I have dates, lunches with my girls.
It's the same thing you're doing in Nigeria. I'm not doing it.
I'm not
going
shores of
Nigeria. We want to go outside.
That's trip. Now they forget her.
Even within Nigeria.
You can excel. You can be whole. You can pour into yourself. You can do all of those escape. Sometimes I look at my kids and say, I just want to sleep in the hotel. And I can't sleep. Why can't go give me a room? Say, make I can't sleep for us. I still can't sleep. So we are wired differently, and I have been wired that way growing up. But I can go out to YK's house knowing that I'm going back home. And I spend 24 hours walking into the house late at night. I drive better safe than my driver in the dark. at night. So I do those things sometimes, but doesn't mean that that's the default setting. Triple, and there's me could discuss for you.
Now triple,
triple abroad.
Sorry, my darling.
For life.
I have to take a call.
Okay.
Ibuachi from Enugu, then I'll come to Amaka. Good morning, Ibuachi. We can barely hear you.
Hello.
Ibuachi, are you there? Hello.
Okay.
You are listening to your TV. We'll have to let you go. Amaka.
Okay, so I want us to Judge Enima, we're not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. No. I respect your experience. I respect your point of view. You understand? I'm not attacking you at all. Because like I said, we're all a product of our environment.
True.
And I understand where you're coming from too. But let's come back to the bone of contention. Bone of contention here is not just that the woman asked the husband, or the husband now went home and now told the woman that she cannot travel. It's one busybody that trekked from outside and came inside the marriage and inside the house to tell the man that does not know himself what to do as regards his relationship. 1. 2, let me also talk from the Christian perspective. Marriage is between a man and a wife and then God. No third party should be allowed. So the husband that went to go and tell his friend that my wife wants to travel, as per I'm not the man of the house, I'm not the husband. As per you're the second husband. What do you think we should do about our wife that wants to travel? Assistant boyfriend or husband that wants to travel. Then assistant husband now told you what to do. You now went home and lovingly, nicely, now explained it to the woman that she should not go.
Ew.
That is the bone of contention. The third party that carried his insecurities projected it on a relationship.
Yes, that's it. We have a caller, Beauty from UK. Good morning, Beauty.
Good morning. I'm so sorry this show. Okay. All right, just a little contribution on this. You see, having a time out with your fellow, let's say, married women, going out, having that fun, it is needed. It is very important. I'll just say this now. Here in the UK, my husband is a pastor, not just a doctor. Okay. Now, I attend Living Faith Church, and there are other pastors' wives. We are like 4 of us. We always make out time every year. Outside the normal outing we go within UK, we also travel to different states, different areas, but we don't stay more than 3 days.
Okay.
So for me, I would say it depends on the group of, let's say, women around you. Okay. Do they have that positive vibe? Because each time I travel and I come back, there's this newness
of you.
So my husband would say, when are you going? And he would support it by giving me some cash, like take the card, So yes, it's very important because you should have a life, not just marriage and everything. Fine, with the family you still go on trips, yes, but then with women, with your fellow, there are lots of things to discuss and you learn. And it's fun. A lot of things you learn. You share, you encourage each other. Yes. So it is very needed. It's very needed. Thank
you so much, Beauty from the UK. This thing you talked about now, which is like the bone of contention, somebody else getting involved in your marriage. There's something I've always told myself. Sometimes I naturally, the way I'm wired, I really rarely do go to people for advice, for anything, right? I believe if I can sit still, I will get my direction. And so far, that's how I've been living my life. But sometimes people give unsolicited advice. I don't ask you, but you have seen I'm doing something, you just want to put your input, and I listen. But now I've learned that when I listen, I try to listen beyond what you're saying. And I've found out that sometimes we give advice based off of our fears, based off of our insecurities, based off of our beliefs, our core beliefs. Everything every human being does in this life is from their core beliefs. So you're advising somebody else and you don't share the same beliefs. And if that person is not careful, they take that advice and it doesn't work for them. It's not because your advice is bad. It's just because your advice was tailored for you, not for that person. So you that went to go and discuss your family, my wife wants to travel, what do people think? What do you expect? They will advise based off of their fears. If he had asked like 5 different men, right? Those 5 different men may have given him 5 different reasons. Maybe I'd ask somebody like maybe your husband now who will say, that's okay, now let her go. She will learn some things and do you know the friends? Just make sure you know the people, you trust them, you've known them over time and all of that. He will now have a comparative, ideas and see, okay, which one do I think? But he asked probably his best friend, one person. And then the person gave the advice and he took that advice, hook, line, and sinker, and ran with it. So how do we begin to tell people, especially when it comes to marriage? I'm not saying don't go for advice, right? But how do we tell people to listen to themselves, to follow more of their instincts and their guts, and for the religious people, the Holy Spirit, more than putting your issues out there and expecting other people to give their input? Is that also obtainable? Is it possible that you can?
Of course it is. Of course it is. So me, I believe advice is a choice.
Okay.
As all of us sit down here, so people have said a lot of things. Let's even use this topic in question. People have talked to yourself.
After this show.
Me, what I do is what I believe at the end of the day. So Ramatu can give an advice, Amaka gives an advice, you give an advice, all different advice, and I sit down here. At the end of the day, the one that aligns with what I believed on that topic from the get-go, now I will take. You go just and say you take advice. That's what I grew up hearing my elders say. They say, you didn't take advice, somebody advised you. You did what you wanted to do. Because even if 10 people advise you, now the one way go with your mind. That's how advice works. So advice is not
forcing
control.
you.
Nobody's forcing you to do anything. If the man was insecure advice go work for him.
Yes.
If he was a free-minded person, free-minded advice go work for him. We had a fight on, my family don't do Valentine's. And so we had the Valentine's hosted here at one point, and I called my husband. I was in VI, we were hosting it in here. Say, I told you we don't do Valentine's, I'm not coming. The thing pepper me. I know the people whose advice can change things. I called, when they were there calling me, he could not pick their call. He was out in security when I was coming home, walking around the whole street.
Checking for you.
Yeah, because those people have held him up. So you know the people that the advice will work over time.
Yeah.
But it's not like the advice. You just know that if Uncle Teo were to say something, or YK were to call Zibo over something, it's what I want, I will get. Yeah. So it's YK, first of all, man, that YK is this thing that has to happen. Please help me to advise him. Help me to tell him Name on Sonye. That's different than somebody advising him. He will do it because he respects, or people do things as if advice was what they're looking for, whereas you were actually looking to control. If you were looking to change things, influence is what I'm looking for. You know who can influence certain things. If I want certain things from Ziba, I won't call it my family members. My own dad told my husband, Nima to waka, don't let her travel. After we got married, she's too free. You need to reduce it a bit. Then my in-laws, are they the ones that we advise that I should free? So when I want to free, I know the people I will
So
call.
we have a caller on the line, the last caller for today from Abuja. Good morning, are you there? Hello, are you there?
Yeah, hello, yes, I'm here.
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
This issue of these should married women or go out on trips and stuff like that. There's really nothing wrong about it.
Okay, thank you, my brother.
Most times, ladies, the problem most men have with ladies is that when you come together for too long, issues come up.
Issues they did when they work.
This is that, and unnecessary issues come up. You were saying something just now that your husband has traveled and you feel very, very relaxed and free in the house.
We lost we lost him. Yes, but we have to go. I think the basic thing is that we need to just understand what works for us. What works for me may not work for you. And it's important that you have open conversations with your partner. This is the reason I don't want you to go on girls' trip, at least for now. If you're starting your marriage, for me, I don't think that's the time to be going on girls' trip every year. There's a time to build, right? Now, I have built I'm going to be 17 years in marriage this year. Now, from this year, I want to start my own girls' trip. I don't build reach this level. So from here now, every year, you will give me...
Don't start.
Yes, so you will give me...
dog leg.
Every year, baby, you're listening, though. The people that used to watch it, I'll come and tell you. They will tell you, every year, baby, you give me 2 weeks at least for me to go and coolele myself and then come back. I need that break. I need that, and it's not
you are going on your own is better than you're going with friends. We didn't talk about the advice that the friends will give.
Leave advice that friends are giving. Many friends give good advice. Many friends give good advice. We have to go. Do you have the final word?
The final words I want to say is that regardless of advices, please have the spirit of discernment, because some people have ulterior motives to come and scatter. You don't know who wants what you have. I don't know who likes what you have. And then lastly, I'm leaving with a question. So if a lady actually went to an all-girls school and they have a reunion, are you trying to say that you will not let her be able to be part of that or see her former friends or whatever? That's my question.
What's your problem? What's your problem?
Thank you so much, ladies. We enjoyed the conversation. There's nothing. We're going. Thank you, my darling. I love you. I'm not rude. I just love you.
It's 55.
That's all we can take on today's show. See you again tomorrow. Your View Pigeon. Stay tuned. We'll be seeing you.
Bye.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. At ShopX TV, our customers are the heart of everything we do. As a special thank you for your continued support, we are offering our customers 10% off on selected products from now till November 15th. That's right, shop now and save big on some of your favorite items while stock lasts. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grab amazing products at unbelievable prices. First is our amazing 4-in-1 CookX blender. It's a food processor, a grinder, a blender, and a juicer all in one. The CookX 4-in-1 blender comes with 3 versatile cup sizes, each crafted to handle special tasks perfectly. Imagine effortlessly whipping up smoothies that are truly smooth, pounded yam and soups that are flawlessly pounded and blended. You would normally pay 189,950 naira for the CookX 4-in-1 blender, but call the number on your screen right now or scan the QR code and get it for just 170,995 naira. Incredible! And that's not all. You can get the CookX 4-in-1 blender in 2 easy payments of 85,498 naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing cooking solution. And we are not done yet. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the ShopX Ultimate Crunch Exercise Machine. The 6-in-1 machine is designed to take your fitness to the next level. No need to worry about expensive gym fees. You can now work out from the comfort of your home and achieve results. With Ultimate Crunch cutting-edge technology, you can transform your body. Its enhanced features deliver a full body workout that's efficient, effective, and enjoyable. The secret is its advanced design that combines multiple exercise models into one unit. The versatile machine features adjustable resistance levels, an ergonomic design, and a built-in digital tracking system that displays speed, time, distance, and calories burned. From sculpting your abs to toning your legs, upper body, and strengthening your core, you would normally pay up to 449,950 naira for the ShopX Ultimate Crunch. But for a limited time only, call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code and get the ShopX Ultimate Crunch at 404,955 naira. Incredible! And that's not all. You can get the ShopX Ultimate Total Crunch in 2 easy payments of 202,478 naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing fitness solution. But hurry, limited stocks available. So call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
So I need students, but I need teacher.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything. If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all. Their demands, a familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini, I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Hello, TVC Communications, how can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to journalists' hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iyori Folani. Okay, our guest this morning is Comrade Ayodele Adewale. He's a former chairman of Amuwodofin local government, and I guess you can begin to imagine why he is our guest, because it's what's in the news. Direct release of funds to local government, the 774 local government councils. And so Comrade Honorable Adewale is here to help us understand it. So a fine morning to you, first of all.
Good morning, sir. Happy New Year.
Indeed, compliments of the season. Okay, all other things being equal, this should be taken off in January, which leaves us precious few days to the end of January to be within that idea. Now, some news items say that the federal government has set up a team to directly distribute funds to the 774 local government councils. But I didn't quite understand the matter of a team. And since you are here, I said, okay, I'll bounce that off Comrade and see what he makes of it. What team? There was a time when we were speaking about the funds would be released to, the central bank. It can't be a commercial bank. Could you clarify that whole area, please? What you think is going on here?
Well, if the federal government have talked about team is about structure, right, to oversee the disbursement and the free flow of funds without any hiccups. I don't see anything wrong in that. And basically, these are jobs of the agency through the Accountant General's Department and the Ministry of Finance and all of that. So I think they have done very well to put these structures well firmed up to carry out this matter.
Now, since you've, as they say colloquially, you've been there, done that, you've been chairman of a local council, local government council, what would be the big difference between the way it was done then and your time in office goes back to something like
2008
exactly
to 2014.
It's been quite a while.
It's 10 years plus now.
So it's good. And the system you were using at that time is the system that has come to be affected now by this matter about, you know what, let there be autonomy. Let them not be under the thumb of any other authority, whether it is the governor or whatever. So what's the big difference between then and now? What are the things that we need to look out for? Because at the time, when you were in office and after, until the situation we have on our hands now, if you didn't for some reason, I don't imagine that you ever did, but if you didn't for some reason have a plan, a budget in place, and nobody could ask you, what would be the difference between that system and the system that will now have to hold sway?
The system here is that they are getting money directly from the Federation account through the CBN, right? In our system, we were getting it through the commercial banks.
Okay.
And of course, the commercial banks will definitely have some charges when your funds are lodged in. So those charges now are taken off, right, and added to the monies that will be coming into the local government, which is a gain for the local government and all that. But again, when it comes in, the CBN will be, the government also will be expecting that the funds, as is given, will also be plowed into developmental matters. But the question is, are all the local government ready to move at a certain time, universally, in terms of having a well-structured budget, right, that will create a lot of opportunities and development in their various constituencies? Not that these monies will come, will be kept somewhere, right? If the money is transferred to the local government, they have the right to put it in any bank that they so desire, but it is expected that as much as these monies are dropping, automatically it will go into various sectors of development so that loose ends and gaps will be closed in order to forestall any corruption within that system, or to hold the money, right, while the people are still hoping that things will happen. So that is why I said that I hope all the local government, the 774 local government, are ready to deploy, you understand, using their budget instrument.
I don't know if the fact that you just mentioned, even though I had mentioned 774 before, but you just mentioned 774 local governments, it just occurred to me that Lagos has a different arrangement. There are, apart from local government councils, there are also development areas. Right. So how is that going to work? Just to touch that in passing before I go on to other questions.
Well, in Lagos State, they have created additional 37 local government areas. But for political convenience, they decided to call it developing LCDAs, developing their areas,
authorities,
you understand, and all of that. But the Lagos State government, through a referendum, as at then, carried out all the structural inputs in the Nigerian Constitution that give right to state to create local government as they deem it fit, right? They've done all that. Now, the gap there is that they went to the National Assembly, right, to now call for funding of these structures that have been created, right? And that was where the issue lies. The issue is not that Lagos State cannot create local government or they have not rightly created local government. Those babies have been born through a normal process, right? And those babies have been living, you understand? And in funding of local government by the Nigerian Constitution, there are three sources. You have the federal, you have the state, and you have the internally generated revenue. Now, those local government already are generating their funds. The states already are plowing funds as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution to give a certain amount of percentage of their funds that are generated to the local government. Now, it is expected that the federal government also will create a fiat to feed those local government from the federal allocation. That is where the National Assembly need to complete that process.
Okay. So, by way of some further enabling legislation?
Definitely. You have to create a law, right, to do that, because Nigerian Constitution only recognizes 774. So for any expansion, the Nigerian Constitution, in that particular clause, will have to be reworked to accommodate those expansions.
But as it is now, since that is it's conditional upon the future, how will those development authorities or development areas, I believe they're called, how will they be sponsored now?
Already they have two streams of funding. Okay. They have the IGR, the internal generated revenue. They only need to increase their capacity in order to generate more revenue. And many of them are strategically placed, especially those in Etiosa, you understand, in Amuwodof, in Alimosho, and other areas. Some of them are also strategically placed because of the endowment that they have within their jurisdiction. So you only need them to be very ingenious in order to create additional source of revenue. Now, you also have the Lagos State government that has the right to feed them with the fund that is generated by Lagos State in a certain percentage, which they are doing. So these two sources of fund is enough for them to survive and provide amenities for their constituency.
With the local government chairman, the way we go about our elections here, we see elections of local government elections, and the way it goes is the way it goes. It is sort of seen that the ruling party in the state does very well in elections, and it is felt that the governors there are keeping an eye on things. But now that we have this, even if that were still to be the case, there is a difference where whoever is the local government chairman doesn't have to ask anybody for anything. Funds come to him directly, which has never been the case. Do you think that's going to make a big difference in terms of how the work proceeds?
I would move away a bit from your holistic statement saying that it has never been the case, right? With due respect. In Lagos State, we had something different. We have always gotten our revenue directly from the federal account, right? The system that we had is that we have a pool where the funds come in and the first line charges are removed as agreed by the local government, right? In some states, you have the governors taking over those funds and deciding what amount of quantum of fund that will go into this local government.
Some states.
In some states.
Lagos accepted.
Lagos is
not part of that arrangement.
if it was so, we wouldn't have recorded the milestones of development that we have achieved in Lagos as against many states that are bound. So we don't have that. Moving away from that, I would say that President Tinubu administration have done very well to have approached the Supreme Court in order to get that fiat to plow that funds directly to all the local government in Nigeria. It also behoves on those local government headsmen to make sure that those funds are judiciously spent for the benefit of their people and development of their constituency. I saw that about 300 something billion, right, will be released. That's a huge amount of money. So if that money is judiciously spent, you can imagine the pressure that will be removed from the neck of the federal government and the state government. And if the three structures of government work harmoniously, right, to deploy funds appropriately, like the federal is doing right now, then a lot of this economic hardship will be a thing of the past.
Would have been addressed. As you said, everything depends on proper planning. Something else you said earlier, I'm not sure whether we had started or it was when we were speaking before coming on the program. There's this matter of budgeting. There has to be a very clear idea of, one, what is intended to be done, and then the other question I wanted to ask you connected with that is, so where is the oversight in that, the approval for the budgets and all of that? Is it amongst the local government ruling councils themselves?
The local government is a government structure. It's just a miniature of the larger structure as a federation, right? The local government has all the components that the federal government has and that of the state, right? Now, the local government have right to create its own budget in accordance to its immediate needs. Social reality must come into play, right? Now, when this budget is created, right, it behoves on the leadership of the local government to make sure that the budgetary provisions are strictly followed. And in strictly following this provision, you must make sure, as it is right now, that capital expenditure overweigh recurrent expenditure.
Okay.
That is the best way to grow. Because when you do that, you are going to also create stream of fund generation into your structure in order to increase on your capacity. But if you spend more money on recurrent, there will never be growth. So you must make sure that in the capital project, infrastructure like roads, like energy, power, right? Educational infrastructure, health infrastructure, and all of these things, social infrastructures come into being. These create jobs, reduce unemployment, remove security to a large amount, and all of that. And
insecurity.
Insecurity, sorry, and a sense of direction for movement.
Well, indeed. That is, of course, it's related to another question I was going to ask. You, probably better than most, have seen the caliber, and we talked about this a long time ago, the caliber of people that do indeed end up in local government councils. Now, this might be a delicate one, but going by what we see, not just in local government councils, even in the National Assembly, people might get the impression that maybe not every last one of the honorable gentlemen and ladies that end up there are actually fitting for office. So what I'm getting at here is, do you think, in your experience, that we actually in the local government councils need to also retrain and become much better administrators? It's gone beyond a prestige thing that, you know, in your environment, in your circles, you're now an honorable. Beyond that, yes, that one nobody can, I mean, it's your right if indeed you did make it. But how do we make sure that people actually now are suitably empowered to deliver along the lines that, one, the president who initiated all of this, that take the money directly to these people, stop disturbing them, and then the generality of the public will feel more confident that these people are fit for office?
Well, if we just talk about social realities, you see, every community, society determine the kind of leadership they get, right? If the people are determined to have a leadership that is more concerned about their well-being and development, you would see these exponential realities happen. Or if the people are not concerned about political happenings around them, because political system determines economic system. You understand? You're talking about power. So if you don't get the right people there, if you're not concerned about who gets there, and you allow a neophyte get there, or somebody that does not have that sense of ownership, true ownership of its people, to assist them to develop their capacities, then you are going to have a lot of issues, right? So I would advocate that people be more concerned about political happenings around them, right? The same energy they put into firming up their economic activity, they should also put it into who governs them, right? And when you do that, you can't dictate the kind of development you have. Okay. And when you also elect them into office, don't just go back. No, be more concerned about the making of the budget, be more concerned about the implementation of this budget, be more concerned about accountability. It is very, very important. So if we put our eyes together, we'll get it right.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for holding on. Please go ahead now. Oh, I'm afraid it would appear that we lost Mr. George, but if you're hearing this now, please see if you can get in again, and then we'll take it from there. Well, Comrade Ayodele Adewale has just related to a very, very important aspect of how we shall be organizing ourselves going forward. Whatever was in the past was in the past. But now, with greater responsibility and greater resources that are, because I think you were saying, if you look back to your time in office, I mean, we're not talking about the billions that are being spoken about today. And so that's a humongous responsibility, and I really take your point about even the electorate should be now much more concerned that, look, and ownership, that's another part of it, ownership. Are you optimistic that we can get there? That is to say, those who are responsible for putting people in office actually appreciate what you've just said, and as you've just told them now, if they're listening, that Tinyiloju, you are the people that have to ensure that the right people get there, because we are running a democratic system, and it is he who has the most votes that we shall be sending there.
Yes, we can get there. Yes, we have passed through that trajectory of attention before. If you look at what happened during the June 12, the build-up of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, that saw Chief M.K. Abiola winning that election with landslide margin. The people were very concerned about taking the military off our system, right? We were unified in that process, and I think that spirit is still there. And like I said, I'm very happy and thankful to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for taking that bold step to freeing these funds and making sure that all local governments in Nigeria get their fund directly from the federal allocation without any hindrance, to stop them. But while we were talking, I also did mention before we started the program about firming up our system to create an appropriate budget that will help to account for any funds that you get. I remember in 2009 or 2010, when the local government fund was released back to us. Remember, Lagos State funds were seized by the Obasanjo administration. And the ministry and the people wanted us to quickly start spending money, because it has come in. Okay. But in my own table, right, I did not have a budget.
1 second, sir. You'll continue this, but George Inikeja is back.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling back.
Thank you, Uncle. Good morning, and good morning to the strong man of Samowodo.
Yeah, over to you.
Good morning, sir. I'm not a strong man, I'm just myself.
Uncle Yori?
Yes, sir.
The money that the figures I'm seeing on the screen is huge for local governments. And like the speaker there said, they would have to prove their mettle when they eventually receive this money. But that I said I will share with the comrade. This was granted to them by the Supreme Court in July last year. How come that 7 months?
Oh dear. Sorry about that. There seems to be a problem with reception. Let me say it. There seems to be a problem with reception. I think a number of people might find that there are bars to show the quality of reception. Some of those bars on some phones are as low as 1, maybe 2. So even if you have 5 bars where you're calling from, it might affect us, just to sort of explain why, but that's a situation, of course, that is being addressed. I don't know if we can address it ourselves or if we have to get the networks to put some more masts and towers in the, what is this place? VI. The VI are next. So very sorry about that, Mr. George. We lost you. But he was making the point that we also were speaking on. I don't know where he was going to take his, but we've spoken about great responsibility, and he observed that the figures he is seeing, these are humongous figures, and that these people are going to have to prove their mettle. Everybody wants it to be this way because it is the way to be. And again, one can't oversay it, maybe thanks to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who initiated this move. So he is showing trust in the system, but it then remains the individuals that make up the system. I don't know if that was where George was going to be, but you've already spoken on that look, at the end of the day, the people that the electorate that put people in office have a job of work to do here. I think you observe that apart from putting them in office, it's not done. You have to stay around, metaphorically speaking, and be watching what they're doing, seeing that it is complying with agreed plans. That's another thing. Transparency. What is the role of transparency in all of this so that everybody, not just a little owl within the the house, knows what is going on? Would you be in agreement that this be circulated as much as possible to the publics of these local councils?
Transparency is very germane. It ensures trust, right, and belief of people towards their leaders in any governmental structure or social structure. I would say yes, the numbers of these funds is big. Yes, it's big. But when you now split it across 774 local government and you want to deploy it to development, if you don't additionally, as a local government, go to create more fund to support the fund that you are getting from the federal or state, you will not be able to move as fast as you should or you can. So my take will be that local government chairmen and the executive members and all of their cabinets should not rest on their oars that they are receiving. Say, for instance, a local government receive 1 billion, right? 1 billion, if you put it down, is not enough to do about 5 kilometers of roads. If you really want to do a road that is, well enduring, now it's not enough. So it means that you have to bend back to look within your structure in order to generate more funds to complement what you are getting. Because what you are getting is jet fuel, right? It's just to fuel you to move, right? So you yourself have to now use that to create a lot of opportunities, increase capacity by training your bureaucrats, your civil servants, because those are the major structure in any local government.
Ali in Abuja, good morning to you, sir. Are you still there?
Good morning, Mr. Yori. This is
a
very good program you are doing in this TVC.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Yeah, good morning, Mr. Nkuriori. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. Indeed, compliments of the season.
Speaking of this local government.
Yes.
This local government.
Yes.
Please, Mr. Yori, we don't have local government.
We don't have local governments. Are you hearing that, comrade?
I'm listening.
Okay.
Why I said so, there's no election, there's no democracy in local government. At all, we don't have. In 1999, Mr. Yori, we voted. INEC conduct local government. We voted. Nigerians voted. But now the governors have taken over local government election. They have looted local government. They have destroyed local government. That's why we are having this insecurity in Federal Republic of Nigeria.
But this new legislation is going to address all of that substantially, don't you think?
Appointed. A governor will sit down and write names. There is no election, nothing. Till INEC conduct local government.
All right, Mr. Ali, I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much for calling in. You know, we have observed your point. Comrade will comment upon it, but first of all, I've got to go on a break. Do please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. Unlabeled to believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. Unlabeled, I ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Okay. Welcome back. And Ali called in, Mr. Ali called in from Abuja, and you know, he gave short shrift to the entire topic that we're talking about. He said, what local government are you talking about? There is no such thing as a local government. The governors are essentially in charge. Well, he didn't hear me, I don't think, but I did say that what you are saying, it is the very system that we are now about to commence will be addressing that. But he was quite adamant on the point that there is no such thing as a local government. In short, implying that the good intentions, he's waiting to see them actually succeed. You know, okay, so that's the way I would rephrase what he said. But I'm waiting to see, because we know, every Nigerian knows. Now, the first thing that occurred to me is that when
excuse me,
services, you know, are being worked upon and indeed are being delivered, are we sure of the extent to which the citizenry understands that this is the local government at work? We have a wonderful team in there. Or is it the case that when things are done, people think, speaking one of the many Nigerian languages, this government is working. Now, which government do they mean? The federal government, the state government, or indeed, a distant third, perhaps, the local government? Give me your assessment of that whole notion of who is working here. And also, maybe you want to comment on Mr. Ali in Abuja, saying that there is no such thing as local government. The governors are the people in charge.
There is local government, there is state government, and there is federal government.
Okay.
People will exhibit their pain because of the fact that in their local government, perhaps they are not seeing the dividend of the existence of that local government. So I don't blame them for that. But again, I blame them if they don't take part in building and making of the leadership and voting for that leadership of that local government. Across political parties, you can vote for whoever, but if you don't take part, it will be difficult for you now to expect what your expectation will provide. So it is important that people must take part in that process. And if you look at the numbers, right, the voting numbers during federal election, during state election, and during local government elections, you see that we have very low numbers of people turning out for local government elections. And I keep telling people that you can only rig where you are popular. If I come to your house now, right, I want to win votes, and I'm not popular in your house, it will be difficult for anybody to go and rig in your house. You understand? But if people come there and are able to mobilize people within your house to like the aspirants, it becomes difficult for you to rig them out, because the people will stand and defend their votes. So people must understand that fact. And that is why in some jurisdictions, some societies, there's room for independent candidature. You see an independent person coming out. They happen in the EU. They won't belong to any political party, but they are popular in their domain, and people will go vote for them. So the political consciousness must be heightened. And civil society organizations, religious bodies, professional bodies have a lot to do, because these are mass-based platforms in order to educate people on civic responsibility as it concerns political power. It's very important.
And as to the point about Mr. Ali believing that in spite of everything that has been done, and we're going to take off all other things being equal in January here, he still is saying that it's a matter of in name only. That you said that you countered him by saying there is local government, but he's saying, maybe going with experiences of the past, that the governors are not going to let this work.
The governors can't stop this, right? They can't. What will happen is that we might have some teething stage at the beginning.
Okay.
And I know that the president and his team have put enough safety nets in order to prevent this teething stage. And how do I mean? The funds are deployed at the end of this month. How many of the local government have a perfect document to accommodate the distribution and application of that large amount of funds that will be coming in that month? I was about giving you my example when the CIS allocation during the Obasanjo administration was released to all the local government in Lagos State. Now, the budget we had prepared for that year, right, was not robust enough to take in that fund, because the government expected us to put in that fund without saving it or keeping it in the bank to be yielding, interest. It must go directly to developmental purposes. So what did we do quickly? We had to do a budget review, right? We did a budget review, and we deployed all of our engineers and all departments to quickly go and do a review of what they are prepared for that year. And in doing it, for instance, infrastructure, you can't just come and write figures that in this road we are going to spend X amount of money. They have to go and take measurement, right? The quantity surveyors must do their own part of it. The logistics department must also do a lot. So in that process, some people started trumpeting, my administration was getting interest from banks and we were keeping it. And I said, no, we weren't doing that. That the most we did was to talk to all of these banks, that whoever that want to work with us must also be ready to give us social corporate responsibilities, right, to support our projects. So it was a win-win for us. And by the time we started working, people saw the amount of mileage that we could cover, because we had expanded our budget for that year. And going forward, we continue to expand the budget to accommodate the fund that is coming in. So I would also expect that this is the period where a lot of local governments in Nigeria are doing their budget. Most of their budget have not been passed. They should look at their budget very well to make it very expansive in order to accommodate the huge funds that is coming, so that it will quickly be disbursed for development.
Okay, if I heard that right, is Godi on the line wanting to join the program? Good morning, Godi. Is it Godi? Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, please, I just want to add to a little about what the caller from ICT made. What I would believe is that we don't have local government election in this country. And this is the only government that gets close to the people. The government that people that we believe that people that can help people. But those governors don't allow it to work. They don't allow it to work. They just
but
how can somebody we hold the election and one political party will win from local government to the whole local government chairman and the local government council? The whole one party. The system is not working.
But our guest has just explained that no authority can actually stop this anymore. Ali in Abuja and now you are saying that there is no such thing as a local government council. But our guest, has just said that no governor, no authority can stop this anymore. We have a different arrangement now from in the past.
Thank you. We need a real change on local government election. Let the governor allow people's choice to be there. They should allow us to bring.
Okay.
Governors allow the people's choice to be there.
I get what you're saying.
They are not the one to choose for us. They are the one that we know what we want, not the governors. They are just eating the funds. That's the reason why, please.
All right then. Thank you very much for calling in. I wonder if he was trying to make a distinction between, we hear about nothing, it can't be stopped, but the governors still have this tremendous control over who emerges. And until that is addressed, the work is not completed. In the work of preparation for this new dawn, new dispensation, is not really completed.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Every political party has provision in its constitution to allow for all members to come in and compete, right? And to also come in and lobby, right? So it's a question of competition and lobbying within the political structure. So you must learn to go far and wide, discuss more with people in order to be convinced about your person and about your programs, right? There's nothing magical about candidacy and throwing up of flag bearers.
Okay.
You must go through the hog of the system in order to come up as the standard bearer.
So people
for your
have
party.
to extend themselves.
Oh,
they can't
definitely.
just sit down in one corner.
If the larger population of your party loves you, right, definitely you are going to win the popular vote.
Okay, let me take, caller has called in from Isolo. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, and good morning to the guest speaker, Mr. Yadewale.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I think if we were going to institutionalize a perfect model of what a local government should look like, the person sitting down with you is the best person to even though put us through. Because in his own time, in fact, he made mention of something about the ingeniousness of the people that should hold that position. That is one of the qualities they should have. If you come and look at Ahmad of Lincoln during his time, he was able to synchronize and synergize with the governor at that point in time. He tapped into the program of Fashola, the developmental program then, and he trickled it down to the local government there. If we go back to history, when we had westernization, easternization of the civil service, whereby we had to have some of our civil servants go to the other regions to teach how civil service should grow. I think the person sitting down there should be to other local governments, have a sensitization program, teaching them on how to open their environments to development.
Okay.
I wish he was the local government, and now there was an autonomy, full autonomy.
Yes.
then you will see what it will turn Amodofin into.
Okay.
In fact, he was able to attract investments. We had ShopRite coming to Amodofin during his time. We had Apple Junction to Allied. You understand me? We had, in fact, the enforcement level, the trucks were not coming into Festac. He ensured that stopped. He was never at any point in time disconnected from the local environment. So the character of the people that should be our local government chairman, one. Two, how do they tap into the programs of the state government? What is the enforcing control of their parties to ensure that, yes, at the local level, people can feel governance?
Okay.
The Ministry of Intergovernmental Affairs doesn't exist. Maybe they should have that so that we can have someone, a ministry that should oversee how local government administration goes on. You understand me? Some checks and balances on the funds coming in. Who is talking to the governors? Who is making sure that the governors are not only favoring the local government chairman they like? We had truly local government, Apapa local government. Then all of them were doing well. You understand me? They all in fact, most of those chairmen existed before he came in 2008. He came in, he did extremely well. So the thing is, for me, local government is very, very that should be focused on. We have a lot of revenues that you have the warehouses, you have the jetties.
Okay then. Well, thank you very much, caller. Appreciate your call. Well, maybe I should just ask you first of all, which one of those ones that caller was speaking about are lies?
I was training to hear what he was saying.
He was, highly appreciative of your time in office.
Thank you for your kind words.
There was nothing but accolades that, in fact, among other things, he said you were able to tap in to the programs and plans of the administration of Babatunde Raji Fashola in his time, and that, long story short, you had always been on ground. And that is the one thing that everybody notes there. Okay, apart from all those accolades, that was what I was going to make a joke about. You heard all those encomiums poured on your time in office. So which one of those were overstatement or a lie? But that was just a joke. And that was just a joke that I was going to make.
Well, first let me thank him for all the kind words that he has said. And that was why one of your junior colleagues, Mr. Dejibade Mosi, did advise me and my administration that we should put together a documentary for people to see going forward. And I took his advice, to put together the first 2 years of our 6 years of administration. And he came again that we should document the rest. I said, Mr. Deji, I still have to put more on infrastructure. People remember, in their minds. Yeah. But if you go to YouTube, just type Comrade Ayodele Adewale positive impact on YouTube. You will see a lot of what we did in 2 years. Now, moving forward, I think what people should understand is that government should help local government increase their capacity because of the peculiarities they've found themselves and all of that. Governor Fashola, using Ashwaju's template, was able to use the Ministry of Budget and Planning, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, and I think Ministry of Works, right? Especially Ministry of Budget and Planning, because there was one man called Mr. Tayo then, one tall man. He was always interfacing with us because they understood that we lack some capacities in some departments, so they will come readily to look at our budget, look at the gap, organize some trainings, and monitor with us. Not that they tamper with our funds, but they helped us to improve on that on those capacities and put us on our toe. Then we, as local government chairman...
One second, sir. Can you please just hold your thought so that you can return to it, this particular junction? Because I don't want to lose Mr. Afere, who has called in from Warri in Delta State. Morning, Mr. Afere.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I want to join the other caller from Abuja or so to explain, I was a former councillor in Warri South local government.
Okay. Can you hear?
Just 2017, I left the council. Yeah. It is like when we say, seek ye first the kingdom of God, every other thing shall be added unto you. I was thinking what the federal government ought to do first is to see how entrance into local government election is conducted free and fair by the Independent National Electoral. Take it away from the state and governor. Then and there, the autonomy we are talking about now will be seamless. Because in every other local government, I don't know of Lagos State, but majority of the states in Nigeria, they install the local government chairman and councillor. Even the budget you are talking about, the councillor don't even have the opportunity to open a page in the budget, how much more to scrutinize it. Now, what the governors will do now, since this money is coming directly to the local government, before any local government will pass their budget, they will take the budget to the state governor. The state governor will impute what some of the jobs that are the state job, some of the jobs that are not even within the local government preview. They will put it in the local government budget. The legislative arm will sign, and they will start to implement. They will be the one to give you the contractor. They will be the one to fix the amount for the job. The chairman has no power to say no, because if you do, you will not return back. But a situation whereby INEC is conducting election, and the governor wants to impose some certain job in the budget, or he wants to tell the local government chairman, return this money back for this purpose, the local government chairman will shout, because the people are behind you. It is these same people that will vote you in when INEC is conducting the election. So first thing said, let the assure you now look at, and the National Assembly look at how to take the responsibility away from the state governor for conducting election. This autonomy that you are talking about now will be very seamless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ferrer. Indeed, I appreciate you. Well, as he says, talking from experience.
Well, it's very interesting that I also have bloodline to Warri. I'm from the Boyo family. I'm Sekiri, and from my maternal aspect. But as much as what he has said, he has those facts from his own standpoint.
And his own experience.
But what I would say is that nobody would have stopped them from preparing a budget. Nobody. It is the prerogative of the executive and the parliament and the people to prepare a people's budget, a realistic budget. So he's saying that they have not been able to do that. I think it's about capacity. And that was why I was saying that the Governor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, and Governor Fashola's administration, in line with the templates of the Lagos State Blueprint, did assist us, right, to improve our capacity, especially on the making of our budget and getting the right people to assist to carry out our projects. It's part of capacity building. And I also remember that before we could award any contract, you must do an open tender, right? We put our tenders on public notice in the national dailies, right? It was part of the requirements. If you don't do that, it becomes a problem, right? And the House of Assembly of Lagos State also made sure that we follow all the guidelines as enshrined in the document that oversees the local government administration. But in doing all this, the most important structure, apart from the political structure in local government, are the bureaucrats. Those are the civil servants. We need to invest more on their training in order to bring them up speed.
Indeed. Well, I want to thank you very much, Comrade Ayodele Adewale, for coming along to, discuss this subject, which I know, you didn't tell me, but I know it's close to your heart, because it's about governance at the grassroots. It doesn't matter, I get the impression that it doesn't matter where else you go, whether to the state level, whether to the federal level, governance at the grassroots will always hold a special place in your hearts.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so thank you very much, comrade.
Thank you for having me, sir.
That's our program. Do please join us on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folari. Bye-bye for now.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did
the news? First, with breaking news.
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Mornings. We all know they can be tough sometimes. Daily battle of dragging yourself out of bed. But what if your coffee could make mornings easier, maybe even enjoyable? Are you stuck with coffee that's just okay? Maybe you're hosting a large morning board meeting, or you have friends you want to impress. Now, you can serve coffee that's bound to surprise everyone. Introducing the Brava coffee machine from ShopX TV, the coffee maker that does it all. Whether it's a quick single cup to kickstart your day or several cups for entertaining, this machine is your go-to solution. The Brava coffee machine is here to upgrade your mornings. With the Brava coffee machine from ShopX TV, you can be the barista you have always wanted to be from the comfort of your home or office. Let's talk features. The Brava coffee machine isn't just a coffee maker, it's a game changer. One button is all you need for perfect coffee. Smart Auto Off allows you to rest easy knowing your coffee machine is saving energy. Customizable strength and size. The Brava coffee machine is powered by cutting-edge brewing technology, built-in steam nozzle to the ideal temperature in seconds. At the touch of a button, every detail is optimized to extract the richest flavors. Versatile capacity, ideal for solo mornings, family breakfasts. Brew exactly how you like it in a single cup or a full carafe.
I've tried so many coffee makers, but nothing comes close to this. The flavor, the ease, it's like having a coffee shop in my kitchen. I just press the button and voila, perfection in the cup.
Get the Brava coffee machine now to save cost and make the perfect cup of coffee right from your home. You could easily spend over 450,000 naira for a coffee maker just like this. Call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code to get the Brava coffee machine for just 330,495 naira. The Brava coffee machine comes with coffee machine with steam nozzle. Full instruction manual will even include 30 coffee pods free in our starter kit. Plus, you'll enjoy a discount on additional pods when you need more. Extra packs are available at 11,000 naira per pack, with a minimum purchase of 3 packs. You can get the Brava coffee machine in 2 easy payments of 165,248 naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing coffee machine. Call now and we will also deliver the Brava coffee machine to your doorstep for free. This exclusive ShopX TV offer is for a limited time only, so call now while stocks last. The preceding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It counts down to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move ahead.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power plays, jaw-dropping revelations, and the unfiltered truth. This isn't just politics, it's unraveling the stories that matter. Brace yourself for Politics Tonight every weekday at 8 p.m, where every decision echoes along the corridors of our lives. Politics Tonight, only on TVC News.
Hello and welcome to TVC Midday News. We'll begin in Davos, Switzerland, where Vice President Kashim Shettima says Nigeria's dedication to harnessing the potential of its youth, investing in education, and advancing smart agriculture are necessary strategies to address global and domestic challenges. He was speaking at the Financial Times Global Risk Roundtable at the ongoing 2025 World Economic Forum. Vice President Shettima pointed out that while crisis abounds, there also is present opportunities for nations to become stronger. The Vice President reaffirmed Nigeria's resolve to embrace innovation and empowerment, particularly through education, gender-focused initiatives, and smart agriculture to propel its economy into the fourth post-industrial revolution. Vice President Shettima also dismissed dependency on foreign aid while advocating instead for equal partnerships that uphold dignity.
I believe nations across the African region, we have dominant nations. Nigeria, with 250 million people, has a very pivotal role to play. In the North African region, you can look at Egypt, for instance, can be a source of stability. But we must look inwardly for our challenges, and multilateralism is key. As I said, these challenges are global, and we need to fuse into one common human family to address. Military solution cannot solve our problems. We have to combine it. Gender empowerment initiatives, investments in education, in healthcare, in infrastructure. Once we create hope for the youth, once we create hope for a better tomorrow, this kind of madness will evaporate.
Vice President Kashim Shettima there. Back here in Nigeria, and against the backdrop of incessant tanker explosions in the country, leaders of Suleja community are assuring the National Orientation Agency that measures will be put in place to avoid a recurrence. They say residents will also be sensitized on the volatility of all tankers, especially when accidents happen. The leaders are also planning sensitization campaigns across districts to further sensitize the youth. Recall that last Saturday, a tanker explosion in Suleja killed more than 85 persons, with about 55 others severely injured and are now receiving care at tertiary medical facilities in the nation's capital. For more on this development, Maria Mohammed joins me on the news at Midday now from Suleja. Maria Mohammed, bring us up to speed on this sensitization drive by the National Orientation Agency and the response coming from the community. All right, we'll get to that conversation in a moment, but let's now turn attention to Zamfara State. Their government says it is putting structures and processes in place to curtail the spread of anthrax virus. This follows the confirmation of 2 cases in the state. Theophilus Arafai has details.
Anthrax disease mainly affects livestock and wild game. Humans can also be infected through direct or indirect contact with animals infected with the disease. The federal government, through the Ministry of Livestock Development days ago, confirmed the outbreak of the zoonotic disease in Zamfara. And just 2 days later, the Zamfara State government, through the Commissioner for Health, Nafisa Maradon, confirmed 2 cases of the disease.
The first case was identified, and then we immediately swung into action. And then through one health approach, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, we came together, and then sequelae to that there is massive awareness and then massive vaccination to the population.
The Zamfara State government is calling on the public to report any suspected case, saying government is committed to containing the disease through massive sensitization and awareness campaign. Theophilus Darufai, TVC News Gusau.
Let's take you to Akwa Ibom State, where the police command says it is poised to enforce the anti-open grazing law. The Commissioner of Police said this during a meeting with the leadership of the Farmers and Cattle Herders Associations and the Ministry of Agriculture. Miriam Daniels has details.
4 years after the law prohibiting open rearing and grazing of livestock was passed in Akwa Ibom State, there's yet to be a noticeable implementation. This gap has led to a series of farmer-herders clashes that have resulted in deaths. So when the Commissioner of Police, Baba Azari, assumed duty earlier this month, among the top on his list was a strict enforcement of the anti-open grazing law. He made it clear that it will not be business as usual for perpetrators. That's the reason he has initiated this meeting. He believes the move will protect the rights of both farmers and herders and foster a peaceful coexistence and security of the state.
We have anti-grazing committee between the police and the army that goes round to ensure the enforcement of these laws in Akwa Ibom State. We'll strengthen them and will improve on that services. So please go back to your members, tell them to stop this unprovocative activity in Akwa Ibom State. Farmers are the backbone of society. Without farmers, we'll enter into crisis because food will be shortage and will not allow it to happen. Where they go to farms and you carry cows and enter into the farm and destroy everything. And just because maybe you feel that if you are arrested, you have the money to sell cow and pay the farmer, it is not going to be business as usual.
Both parties in their responses commended the CP for the move and promised to cooperate with him and the government for the success of the initiative. They call for adequate sensitization to residents on the presence of the Anti-Grazing Enforcement Committee.
Our brothers, they have their business. The Akwa Ibom too, we all have our own business. You have told us today that it's not good for us not to live in peace. They have heard and we have heard. And I'm sure when they get back, they are going to gather their people and to tell them what the stand of the government.
Having a cattle is a business. Planting crops is a business. So we should not allow each other's business to destroy each other's business.
But I know 100% of owners of cows in Akwa Ibom. If this cow is owned by a Ibibio, I know. If this cow is owned by a Hausa man, I know. If this cow is owned by Fulani man, I know. I know their locations. So we will only strengthen the task force to work harder. The disruption will reduce because 80% of the headers have moved back down to Calabar. So we are working on modalities to see their restriction from coming back.
It is believed that with these steps taken by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command, the anti-open grazing law will be strictly enforced no matter who is involved, and there will be peaceful coexistence among residents. Miriam Daniels, TVC News, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State.
From Akwa Ibom to neighboring Cross River State, where the state government has issued a new directive which requires commercial vehicles to display the state's iconic blue and white colors. But this is to enhance public safety and streamline the transport sector. Tina Kweke tells us more.
As you drive through the streets of Cross River, the blue and white horizontal stripes seems to whisper a sense of pride and welcome. For the people who call this place home, these colors are a reminder of their roots, their culture, and their community. The colors are proudly displayed on state symbols and assets, serving as a beacon of unity and shared purpose. The state government, in its letters directive, mandates commercial vehicles to bear the official colors, promoting state identity, security, and curbing undesirable activities. A closer look reveals the policy's primary goal is to enhance surveillance and monitoring.
I sought and got the approval of His Excellency for all commercial bus intra-city first to be rebranded with the state color, to get the optics right, sanitize that aspect of the city center, and then secondly, there should be a security coding that should be, clearly stamped on each of the vehicles for easy tracking and identification.
However, the policy has sparked wild debate amongst the residents. Some see it as fostering state pride. Others worry about financial implications and increased ticketing.
Welcome development in the state, and we love it. We love it. It shows that the state is moving.
Imagine the color, the state color. You will like it. It's so beautiful. At least it makes us look different. In case we are traveling with the vehicle, they will know we are coming from Cross River.
Blue and white. It makes the state look neat and clean. The problem that drivers have is that let state government have pity upon us. We have buy ticket 650 naira bed. We don't have free place to stand and we don't have even bus stop. That is the hungry of the drivers for the state.
As Cross River State embarks on this bold new path, one thing remains certain: the iconic blue and white colors will be permanently embedded in the state identity. Tina Akweke, TVC News, Calabar.
Let's return to our earlier story where the National Orientation Agency is taking steps to sensitize Nigerians on appropriate actions when tanker explosions take place and to actually prevent it. Joining us from Suleja in Niger State is Mariam Mohammed. Thank you, Mariam, for joining us at this time. Give us a better understanding of what is happening, the steps the NOA is taking, and how the community is actually responding to this enlightenment campaign.
Okay. Yes, we are here in Gurara Local Government Area Council in Suleja to sensitize members of this community on the danger of scooping fuel from falling oil tankers, because this incident happened last week where 98 people was reportedly killed. Well, now I'm here with the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mr. Lanre Issa Onilu, to share more light on how the federal government intends to tackle this menace. Sir, can you tell us what is the federal government doing aside this sensitization program to tackle this menace?
Yeah, well, the government is approaching this from multiple points of view. First and foremost, you know that's the presidential directive, not only to NOA, but to all the stakeholders in government to ensure that we provide immediate, succor to the families of the victims and to some of the victims who had injury, who are still in the hospital. And especially to ensure that this incident has to come to a stop. It has happened too often, and it doesn't make sense. And we have also realized that we can do all the awareness, which we have, flagged off, and in all the local government today in Nigeria, all our personnel are carrying out sensitization and creating awareness. The same thing at the state level. But beyond awareness, we've also realized that this has to be community-led. So we are mobilizing the community stakeholders, the traditional rulers, the religious leaders, and the security agencies, the police. They were all here today. You've seen them. The civil defense, the road safety, even the vigilante. And we've had, what the report says, that even when this was going to happen, the police and other security agencies were there, and they tried to prevent people from going near, the product that had spilled on the road. But they were being stoned. And just barely 10 minutes after, this unfortunate incident happened. So it shows it goes beyond just telling people not to do it. They already knew there is danger in that. So the community must ensure that they take responsibility along with us, along with the security agencies. We must all work together, the religious leaders. And we have gotten a very good and commendable response from Gurara local government where this has happened. And this would go around the country. And the response is that the communities are ready to take responsibility to ensure that their children do not expose themselves to this kind of danger. And to also understand that the empathy they ought to show for the misfortune that has happened to a businessman who used his money to procure this product in the first place is what is expected of us due to the kind of citizens we are trying to encourage with good value system. So this is what we are doing. As of today, we have produced over 200 jingles in over 200 Nigerian languages. And on all about 300 radio stations in this country, as we speak, we are having these jingles being played, to mobilize. But the important thing is direct engagement with the community leaders, with the stakeholders at the grassroots, the women, the parents especially, to ensure that their children are warned, from taking this risk anymore. And it's not just about fuel, it's also about any product for whatever. If there is such an accident where a tanker or a truck has fallen, our responsibility, if at all, is to support the driver to ensure that we salvage whatever we can salvage for him and for the owner of the business, not to take advantage and not to risk our life. So this is...
All right there was the DG of the National Orientation Agency, who is with his team in Suleja, Gwara local government area of Niger State, to sensitize residents on best practices in case of, oil spills, as it were. You're watching TVC Midday News. We'll take a moment and we'll be back with more stories. Please stay with us.
وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدان ومن خلفهم سدان فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون.
His Eminence Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto and the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, cordially invite you to the Nigerian Quran Convention, a monumental gathering of faith, unity and inspiration. Under the banner of one book, one faith, one ummah, this historic event brings together Muslims from all walks of life to celebrate the timeless beauty of the Quran, fostering spirituality, understanding and unity. Join us on the 22nd of February 2025 at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, for a day of profound reflection, togetherness and inspiration. The Nigerian Quran Convention, one book, one faith, one ummah. You're welcome.
You're watching TVC Midday News. Commuters in Lagos State are optimistic about the federal government's gas initiative following the successful launch and distribution of CNG-powered buses across the country. They, however, want more gas stations across the country for easy refilling. Senior correspondent Sharon Jason reports.
A few months ago, President Bola Tinubu released 64 CNG-powered buses to organized labor and 20 others to the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW. This move is aimed at ensuring that workers and citizens have access to affordable transportation, following the increase in the pump price of petrol as a result of removal of subsidy. In the quest to see how citizens and workers are using the buses released by the federal government, I and the team visited a motor park in the Yanokbaja area of Lagos, southwest Nigeria. I met Veronica Olokpe, a farmer who frequents Ilorin to transact business. She tells me she is happy with the transportation initiative as it is more affordable and comfortable.
Once in a week, when I'm going, I'll enter this one, but when I'm coming because of the load, I'll enter another one. Because this one cannot carry load. I used to carry a lot of farm when I'm coming back. I prefer the other one to help me to carry the load.
What's the pricing like? How much is it?
Before it's 12,000 in Christmas time, but now it's 8,000 because it's cheaper and it's okay.
The price is cheaper than others. I would really appreciate our government to assist them with this kind of program. We really enjoy it. Full AC, no issue.
I prefer this one because it's convenient, it have enough space and it's spacious. It's okay, it's comfortable.
Drivers of the CNG-powered vehicles at different motor parks commended the presidential CNG initiative, but wants provision of more gas stations to tackle challenges they faced when trying to refuel vehicles with compressed natural gas.
When we fill this gas from Lagos here, we won't take us to Osogbo. At the end of the day, we will still buy another fuel along to reach Osogbo. And now coming back, there's no gas in Osun State. So we would like to buy petrol again from there to Ibadan. So from Ibadan there now, we are now able to buy gas again. Beg government, our president, to do the paper for us. May share that gas filling station to different areas. If this day in Osun State, it will be better. It's very nicely.
Some of the advantages of using CNG-powered vehicles are lower maintenance cost, prevention of gas from spilling or evaporating, increased life of lubricating oil and less pollution. Above all, CNG-powered vehicles are considered to be safer than petrol-powered ones.
Our state governor too, they have a role to play on this project. Let them complement more or providing more buses so that it's going to work well and serve the purpose of giving it out to NLC.
Over the last 4 decades, Nigeria has experienced rapid growth in the transportation system, and there's been a rise in the demand for public transportation to be accessible. For commuters here, they want relevant stakeholders to ensure that there is guaranteed scheduled time for buses that will be taken up from various parks. Sharon Ijason, TVC News.
Let's now look at other issues. The Northern Christian Youth Professionals have visited the Abuja Bureau Office of TVC Communications in a bid to seek platforms for checks, balance, following the granting of autonomy to local governments. Chairman of the group, Isaac Abrak, says the group is seeking partnership with media houses, especially TVC News, in monitoring activities across the 774 local government areas of the country. Mr. Abrak was received by the Bureau Chief and Head of Northern Operations, Ayodele Ozugbakun. Having been recently granted autonomy by the Supreme Court, the religious body believes making leaders accountable to the people will enhance development, reduce corruption, and promote transparency at the grassroots.
Unfortunately, before now, the local government councils have not had the buoyancy, the power to manage their own resources, their own funding, and channel it into what they deem is fit for the development of the people of that local government. But now we thank our president. Much commendation goes to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has shown again with the local government financial autonomy that his policies are geared basically to the development of the people. They are people-oriented policies, and as such, we are so much interested and supportive of the financial autonomy because we know that it is going to develop our people.
Carry the people along, and that's why the NCYP is calling on, the citizens, to hold their local government chairman responsible. By the ending of this month, we'll be expecting, the local government will be expecting the money in their account. So they should start having town hall meetings. Youth group, market women, religious clergy, and even the traditional leaders should not be left behind. They should all come. All hands need to be on deck, in order to point out key projects that have benefit to the masses.
Let's now turn attention outside Nigeria. The Met Office has issued rare red weather warnings, and this means there is danger to life as Storm Yowen batters the United Kingdom. The worst disruption is due to hit Northern Ireland and part of Scotland, with gusts of up to 100 meters per hour expected in some coastal areas. Millions of people are being urged to stay at home and not travel during this period. Widespread travel disruption is expected, with some flights and ferry crossings already cancelled. In the Republic of Ireland, a record gust of 114 meters per hour was recorded at Mace Head, while 560,000 premises are without power. Well, that is it on TVC Media News. We thank you for watching. For more updates on the stories we're monitoring here, please visit our website, www.tvcnews.tv. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG. We're live on YouTube at TVC News Nigeria, and we have plenty of updates on WhatsApp, also at TVC News Nigeria. I'll be here at 1 with more updates. Good afternoon.
وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدان ومن خلفهم سدان فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون.
His Eminence Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto and the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, cordially invite you to the Nigerian Quran Convention, a monumental gathering of faith, unity and inspiration. Under the banner of one book, one faith, one ummah, this historic event brings together Muslims from all walks of life to celebrate the timeless beauty of the Quran, fostering spirituality, understanding, and unity. Join us on the 22nd of February 2025 at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, for a day of profound reflection, togetherness, and inspiration. The Nigerian Quran Convention, one book, one faith, one ummah. You're welcome.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
This is business news. The Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS, has issued a reminder to all employers in Lagos State to fulfill their statutory obligation to file annual tax returns for the 2024 financial year on or before January 31, 2025. This requirement is in line with the Personal Income Tax Act as amended. In an official statement, the executive chairman of LIRS, Dr. Ayodele Zubaya, emphasized that meeting this deadline is a legal obligation. He warned that failure to comply will result in statutory sanctions, including penalties as prescribed by law. Section 81 of PITA mandates employers to submit comprehensive annual returns detailing all emoluments paid to employees, including taxes deducted and remitted to relevant tax authorities. These returns must be filed no later than January 31 each year and cover the income and taxes paid during the preceding year. Dr. Zubaya stressed, quote, employers must prioritize the timely filing of their annual income tax returns to avoid penalties. Submitting returns on or before the deadline ensures compliance with the law and supports accurate revenue tracking, which is essential for Lagos State fiscal planning and sustainability, end quote. To simplify the process, LIRS has transitioned to a fully digital filing system. Employers must file their annual tax returns exclusively through the LIRS e-tax portal at www.etax.lirs.net. Manual submissions, he says, are no longer accepted. Mr. Zubaya described the e-tax platform as secure, user-friendly, and designed to provide employers with a convenient way to manage their tax obligations. Employees without a taxpayer ID are advised to generate one immediately on the e-tax platform to prevent disruptions during the filing process. To assist employers, LIRS has deployed staff across its offices to provide guidance on using the e-tax portal and addressing related concerns. Employers are encouraged to act promptly to meet the deadline and ensure compliance with tax laws. For further information or assistance, employers and taxpayers can use the following support channels: www.lirs.gov.ng, or on social media, Facebook and LinkedIn, Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, or Instagram and YouTube at LIRS.gov.ng. On X, formerly Twitter, at LIRS_gov.ng, or email at etaxinfo@lirs.net. You can also call on customer care at 0700-2255-5477. And that's it on Business News.
The annual returns and 2025 projection returns. This message is brought to you by the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS.
If this is your first time or you're just tuning into the show, welcome. At this point, we're getting set for Corporate Talk, a segment where we go one-on-one with experienced hands in the field of tax administration. Mr. Tokunbo Akonde is a special advisor to the Executive Chairman, LIRS, and he will be taking us through the process and timelines for the filing of annual returns with a focus on corporate entities. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me on your program.
Oh, it's certainly my pleasure. Without wasting much time, let's go straight to the first question, which is, what is annual tax returns?
Okay, now you take it from the word itself. Annual, it means it's done once. Tax returns, it means statement that you file denoting what is due to be disclosed to the tax authority. But don't forget that the corporate entities don't pay taxes to state authorities, but they have obligation to report on remunerations that they pay to their vendors and to their employees and deduct taxes on same and file returns on that to us. But in this case, which we are referring to, which is the Form H1, it relates solely to the remuneration they have paid to their employees and then the taxes that they have deducted from those remunerations, which they have also remitted to the tax authority.
Is there a specified period for filing?
Yes, please. Yeah, it's between 1st of January and 31st of January of the year succeeding the year which you are reporting. You know, you report on annual basis like this from January to December. So if it's January to December 2020, then you file your returns between 1st of January and 31st of January 2021. Because as of that time, you would have been able to consolidate all the payments which you have paid to all your employees.
That's good to know. Are there penalties for non-filing of annual returns? And Could you enumerate if there are any?
There are. So if you fail to file, it's 500,000. So, and like I've always said, the issue is not even the amount that is being paid, but the fact that the organization has a stigma of not complying. So it has impact on how people view your organization. And sometimes you see it's the corporate image is very, very important, if not more important than even the actual productive activities that the corporate entities actually perform. Because if you are found to not be compliant with the law, some other people that want to do business with you will just say, no, I don't want to have anything to do with you. So it's always better to just stay within the boundaries of the law.
And what are the modes for filing online?
In Lagos, we have transited from manual. It's strictly electronic. So you go to our e-tax platform, and then once you get there, you download, you go to what they call there's the module for filing.
Okay.
It's there. Well, so you just click on it. It shows you formats or templates which you can populate with the information which you have. They are flat files, or the CSV or Excel. You populate and then you upload again, and then you're good. So it's as seamless and as simple as that.
Since we are treating corporate entities, what are the different types of taxes that are applicable to them?
Corporate entities don't pay taxes on their income to the state, but they are obliged to deduct on behalf of the state, act as agents of the state, to deduct from remuneration that they pay to their employees, payments that they make to their company, that they pay to their vendors, and then remit same to the state. So we are talking of personal income tax. We have the withholding taxes on the various kind of ventures that they have with their vendors who supply services to them. Then you have capital gains tax that comes from when they lay off their staff that they need also to pay to the state government. You know, when they pay compensation for loss of office, then they deduct the capital gains tax and then remit same to the state government. Of course, there are some levies like the business premises levy, which they pay, and then they also act as agent for development levy for their staff, which they remit to the state government. The corporate entities are just agents of the states in helping to deduct taxes and remitting them to the states.
I've come across this term a few times, best of judgment assessment. Could you share more light regarding it?
Okay. Best of judgment actually arises basically from the word itself. It's the best of judgment of the tax authority. It means that the taxpayer or the agent of the taxpayer has not filed returns to the tax authority. So because you have not done that, or you have filed a return that the tax authority finds a bit doubtful, then based on its own experience of the industry in which that taxpayer is operating, can say, okay, you can't say you are in the oil industry as a driver in the oil industry and you claim that you are paying your staff 50,000 naira per month, because we know that in the oil industry, average driver there earns above 500,000 monthly. So you understand. So the tax authority will now use its own best of judgment based on its industry knowledge to say, no, that driver A, I'm charging minimum of 500,000 per month for that person, because I know in the industry they have collective agreements which says this is how much you pay. You understand? So that's the minimum, that's the floor. So that's where best of judgment comes. It's because the taxpayer has not disclosed his or her income.
Mr. Akonde, we have picked a lot of pertinent information so far during the course of your discussion, but at this point, we need to go on a quick break.
Thank you.
Mr. Tokunbo Akonde, the special advisor to the executive chairman, LRS, will still be here when we return from the break. I trust you will too. Don't change that dial.
Projection returns. This message is brought to you by the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS.
Welcome back. We've been talking to Mr. Tokunbo Akonde on the filing of annual tax returns with a focus on corporate entities. We still have a few more questions. When is a best of judgment assessment raised?
It is raised after the expiration of the period of filing and the taxpayer has not filed his or her returns.
Why is filing of annual tax returns important?
It is because it is what the law says you should do. That's number one. And so if the law says you must go from here to that place, then it's the right thing to do. Also, more importantly, it allows for the tax authorities to assess people to the proper amount of taxes that they are supposed to pay. Because when you file because you are filing data and information, which we now process, it is that information that we process to determine the actual amount that you're supposed to pay based on the law.
What is the penalty for filing incorrect or false returns?
The penalties that applies to the person that has filed an incorrect returns under the personal income may be also applied to the corporate entity. Like if they do something that is wrong, and then we're able to establish it, but it will be on conviction by a judge in the court of law, and that the penalty will be, of course, the 500,000 that is there. Then if it is incorrect, not false now, incorrect, the issue is that you pay 20,000 fine plus double the amount that has been suppressed, whichever is higher, that you replace the fine with that amount. So that's for incorrect. But if it is false, like I said, it's treble the amount that has been suppressed. And then, of course, there's the issue of 6 months, not more than maximum of 6 months imprisonment. But corporate entities don't go to prison. It's individuals that go to prison. So that one won't apply.
Let's say a taxpayer genuinely needs help on an issue. What platforms can they reach the LRS on?
Thank you very much. We have multiple channels for which we can provide assistance. Of course, you can send an email, which is at info@lrs.net. Then our branches are there. You can, if you want people, some people just prefer the physical meeting of people. Then the various offices that we have, including our head office, which people can reach out to us. Then, of course, we have the various social media platforms, which will be shown on the screen for viewers and taxpayers to see. So all those ones are available for people to reach out to us, and they can be reassured that whatever issues they raise will be promptly dealt with.
As a final question before we go, there's the issue of taxpayer ID. What exactly is taxpayer ID and how can it be gotten?
Okay, it's the unique identifier that the tax authority uses to track you as a taxpayer, just like you have your bank account and then you have your BVN. So it's the one that once any tax authority across the globe sees it, they will know that that is that individual they are relating to, and the tax record they are seeing belongs to that same person. So it is a way of identifying you. And for you to get it, we'll need to, of course, get onto our e-tax platform, upload your photographs, provide your either your BVN or your NIN, and then do what we call the biometric capture. But if you can provide either NIN or BVN, then you don't need to come to our office to do biometric capture again. We can use that one to profile you and know that that is the individual that we are dealing with. So it's just a unique identifier of the taxpayer.
Thanks for coming on the Tax Talk today, Mr. Tokunbo Akonde. It has been crystal clear regarding the filing of annual tax returns by corporate entities. We've learned so much today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Oh, it's certainly my pleasure.
Thank you.
Please stay with us on the Tax Talk, as there is still more to come after this break.
Have you had a hard time with taxes and understanding tax administration in Lagos State and the complex nature of Nigerian tax law? Do you know what agency or tier of government collects the various types of taxes? Have you ever found yourself asking any of these questions? Join us for your favorite program, The Tax Talk, your infotainment program.
You're still watching the Tax Talk, and you can find us on social media with the handles on your screen. The LIRS also remains accessible online via not just their website but their social media handles as well. It's time now to check out Tax Did It, a visual diary of what the government in Lagos State has done with the taxes entrusted to it.
This facility, the first in the state, heralds a turning point in the state food distribution system. The food system transformation agenda was adopted as a measure to improve our current system, which is undated by wastages, post-harvest losses, traffic congestion, and other inefficiencies that result in losses of over 50% sometimes of agricultural produce, especially our perishable goods and vegetables. This transformation journey is hinged on our 5-year agricultural food systems roadmap, 2021 to 2026. This roadmap reflects our passionate commitment to boosting food production.
Angle of it, which is what Lagos is to the rest of Nigeria, being the commercial nerve center, taking care of 60% of commerce, being the 5th largest economic hub in the whole continent, then there is nothing else that Nigeria needs other than Lagos organizing its food systems and Nigerians following hitherto.
You just saw Tax Did It right here on the Tax Talk. Evidence that Lagos is working. The streets of Lagos is our next port of call with a man on the street ready with the day's trivia question.
Hi, my name is Nifemi. Welcome to Tax Your Brain on the Tax Talk. We have an interesting question for the residents of Lagos today. Let's see who gets it right.
January 31st.
January 31st.
I think between 30th and 30th of December.
January 31st.
January 31st.
Thank you, LIRS. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, sir. And it's a wrap for Tax Your Brain, but the Tax Talk continues. Stay tuned.
We on the Tax Talk are extremely passionate about our efforts to educate you on tax administration matters. That's why we do this every week. Our online community is one we value as well. So please follow us across all social media platforms. The handles are always displayed throughout the show. My name is Oyinlola Saleh. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12, and at 18 he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. In his early years as a professional, Clay was more highly regarded for his charm and personality than for his ring skills. He sought to raise public interest in his fights by reading childlike poetry and spouting self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. On February 25, 1964, at age 22, he pulled off a major upset, defeating Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That same year, he shocked the boxing establishment again by denouncing his birth name as a slave name and formally took the name Muhammad Ali, which was given to him by his spiritual mentor Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. For the next 3 years, Ali dominated the boxing arena. Then, on April 28, 1967, citing his religious beliefs, Ali refused induction into the U.S. Army at the height of the Vietnam War. Ali was stripped of his championship and precluded from fighting by every state athletic commission in the United States for 3.5 years. Ali's message of black round decision. Ali was the first fighter to win the World Heavyweight Championship on 3 separate occasions. He successfully defended his title 19 times. His place in boxing history as one of the greatest fighters ever is secure. His final record of 56 wins and 5 losses with 37 knockouts has been matched by others. Both the quality of his opponents and the manner in which he dominated during his prime placed him on a plateau with boxing's immortals. Outside boxing, Ali attained success as a spoken word artist, releasing 2 studio albums, I Am the Greatest 1963 and The Adventures of Ali and His Gang vs. Mr. Tooth Decay 1976. Both albums received Grammy Award nominations. He also featured as an actor and writer, releasing 2 autobiographies. Muhammad Ali retired from boxing in 1981 and focused on his religion, philanthropy and activism. In 1984, he made public his diagnosis of Parkinson's syndrome, which some reports attributed to boxing-related injuries, though he and his specialist physicians disputed this. He remained an active public figure globally, but in his later years made fewer public appearances as his condition worsened and he was cared for by his family. Ali was chosen to light the Olympic flame at the start of the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. He died on June 3rd, 2016.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It's a countdown to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power.
The Voice of Southwest, and on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Federal High Court Abuja prescribes Lakurawa sect, classifies it a terrorist organization. Bowen University suspends examinations following death of one student in suspected attack. Outside Nigeria, rare red weather warnings issued as Storm Yowin batters UK and Ireland. Live from our studio in Lagos, Nigeria, this is TVC News at 1. The Federal High Court Abuja has prescribed the Lakurawa sect, classifying it as a terrorist organization. The prescription order followed an ex-parte application filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Ministry of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN. Justice James Omotosho equally prescribed similar groups operating in Nigeria, especially in the northwest and north-central regions of the country. The federal government had in the ex-parte application prayed the court for 4 orders. The federal government told the court that the Lakurawa sect had been involved in acts of terrorism, including cattle rustling, kidnapping for ransom, hostage-taking, attack on top government officials, security personnel, and propagation of their ideology to the local communities. The federal government maintained that it had reasonable grounds to believe that the Lakurawa sect met the criteria to be prescribed as a terrorist group under the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. Away from that now, but still talking security, the United Kingdom has promised to collaborate with the Nigerian military to address security threats in the country. The Defense Minister of the United Kingdom gave this assurance in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Senior reporter Jesse Tafida has details.
The 13-year Boko Haram insurgency has dealt a big blow to the livelihoods of people in the northeast region. The insurgency has killed thousands of civilians and also caused multidimensional devastation, which the World Bank estimates will cost about $6.2 billion. As peace gradually returns, there are still pockets of attacks by remnants of the insurgents. And now, the United Kingdom Defense Minister has promised to collaborate with the Nigerian military to ensure peace in the country. The Defense Minister commended the Nigerian military's efforts in fighting against insurgency across the region.
What I'm recognising is that Nigeria is one of our strongest partners here in West Africa. We support them with the regional activity that they have. We support that across the region as well as within Nigeria with some of the threats that they've had on the border. And the General and his troops, along with the government, have done an excellent job in dealing with that. There's a very strong relationship between our militaries, and it's something we wish to continue. And that's why our Prime Minister was very keen for me as a Defence Minister to come out here and talk to the General.
Theatre Commander Operation Hat-in-Kai Major General Waidi Shaibu is happy with the visit. He notes that this collaboration will ensure enhanced fight against insurgency bedeviling the country.
Their presence here today also reinforces that aspect of the mutual relationship between both countries and the provision of training assistance, which we are grateful for. The insurgency in the northeast is on the downward trend, and it is a work in progress. We'll continue to do our best to ensure that we achieve our mandate of restoring peace and in the northeast region, and to ensure that socioeconomic activities thrive. That the troops have been doing, and will continue to do that strongly to ensure we achieve our mandate.
The Nigerian military wants citizens to also play their part in fighting against insurgency, as security is a duty for all. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
Now, key players are calling for increased awareness, counseling and rehabilitation of drug users. They made the recommendations at the end of a youth mobilization campaign against substance abuse in Gombe State. Senior reporter Lanre Adeyemi has details.
Nigeria's government estimates that its population is growing at an annual rate of 2.4%, but the rate of drug abuse seems to be much higher. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime in Nigeria estimates that 14.4% of people between the ages of 15 and 64 years abuse drugs. With the disturbing statistics in mind, the AZJ Youth Mobilization Movement says it's committed to fighting substance abuse and addiction. One of the strategies the group is deploying is raising awareness and engaging the critical population bracket.
These are the kind of program that if we engage youth into, it will rehabilitate their life, it will change their narrative.
What are the effects of substance abuse? It affects an individual, it affects the family, it affects the society at large. And because of that, this program is trying to create awareness on the effect of that substance abuse.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency was established on the 29th of December 1989 by Decree 48 to address this burning challenge. The focus is now shifting to prevention, counseling, and rehabilitation.
Before
we only think of arresting, prosecution, and then taking people to prison. But that is not actually the way, because there's one of our slogans that said, don't punish drug users, you need to provide your help.
Those that are selling those substances to those youths, I think the penalty should go to them, not the one that are taking because those that are taking the substance, I think the government needs to call their attention, make them know that what they are engaging themselves is not right, it's not good.
Illicit drugs worth billions of naira are seized across Nigeria every year, yet the proliferation continues. To beat this hydra-headed monster called drug abuse, fresh strategies must continue to evolve. Landry Adeyemi, TVC News, Gombe.
Let's now turn attention to Osun State, where the management of Bowen University, which is a privately owned institution in the state, has suspended ongoing examinations till Monday, 27th of January. This follows the death of one of its students in a suspected attack. The deceased, a student of the College of Management and Social Sciences of the institution, reportedly died on Wednesday night. According to a statement by the registrar of the university, the student was seen running towards the staff quarters where he suddenly collapsed and hit his head against the pavement. He was rushed to the university hospital but died there. The statement adds that a closer inspection of the student showed he had sustained a wound in his abdominal region prior to the fall, while bruises were also seen around his neck. Family of the deceased has since been contacted, while the matter has been reported to the police. For more on this development, Vice Chancellor of Bowen University, Professor Jonathan Babalola, joins me now on the news at 1. Prof, it's good to have you join us at this time, and our sincere condolences on this unfortunate incident. But, help us understand what really went on. How did this student die?
Sure. I actually wasn't around, but the eyewitness accounts that we got, a lecturer was coming from the gate, trekking towards the staff quarters, the principal officer's staff quarter. From afar, she saw a student who sat on the floor. Another student was actually ahead of her, going in the same direction. So it was that student that first got to the person that sat on the floor. And he asked the student that sat on the floor, what happened? He said, oh, they are trying to kill me. And the lecturer asked the same question. That other student at that time replied that he said, they are trying to kill me. As at that time, the boy couldn't talk again. So the boy that saw the victim first went around to go and check what was happening. But all of a sudden, probably the deceased sensed probably danger was coming again, stood to run. And unfortunately, just staggered and fell against the pavement headlong and became unconscious. The lecturer shouted, called for help, and they went around to go and check, and they couldn't really find anything. But on a closer examination, the candidate, the victim, had actually sustained injury, which at that time, at the time we made the report, we couldn't say what type of injury, and were careful to say whatever. But from what I saw on the body yesterday, it looks like a sharp object had been used to pierce through him. So there was a cut in his abdomen, there were some scratches on the necks, and I think a minor one on the other side. So we reported the case. Well, immediately that happened, we were not even searching. What they did immediately was to call for ambulance, who came in with less than 10 minutes. The ambulance came in almost immediately. They took him to the hospital, and the doctor, the nurses, the principal officers, they were all there. They struggled to get him back to life from around 8:20 when the incident happened till around 11:30 something when they discovered that he has given up the ghost. And as at that time, nobody was even sure who the candidate was. It was during the search of the area, they saw an ID card, and we thought that was the candidate. When they got to the hospital, they went to the hostel rather and find out that the person that has ID card was actually around. And later it was discovered that it was the candidate that the student that helped rush him to the hospital that actually owned the ID card. So we have to get student workers from the hostel to come to the hospital to actually identify the candidate before we got to know the candidate. And immediately I was contacted. I had to call the visitor to the university, the pro-chancellor, who eventually informed the parents of the candidate. It's just an unfortunate one. And I think I should add, apparently the attackers were hiding behind the guest house of the university. And I think he walked into them. Probably they were actually waiting for him. And the last thing they discovered that they found his phone about, let's say, 20 meters away from where he was initially. Finally, after the attack, he ran towards the place where they saw him the first time.
So,
and when they checked his phone, they discovered that they look at the communication. So he actually went to visit somebody on the old campus, and the person was asking him whether he has reached his hostel or otherwise. So that is the information we have for now. The university has set up an investigating committee, and we've reported the case to the police. It has been incidented, and I think they are now at Osogbo also giving reports.
All right, Prof. But do you have any leads as to who the attacker could have been? Because you mentioned earlier that it appeared they were hiding behind the guest house.
Because he ran from the guest house to that place, we aren't sure who the attackers was, who they were. From the information we are getting, it could be a planned work from outside.
Okay, now talk to us
At
about
least from
security.
some of the information we have not confirmed.
Okay, Prof, I hear you. But talk to us about security on campus. Does Bowen University have CCTVs?
Okay, the university has CCTV, but most of the CCTV were actually done to monitor the borders of the university to see who is entering, who is not entering, especially the first area that we have behind the university that could not be fenced or run. The main gate and some other places have CCTV. Unfortunately, where the incident happened has no CCTV because it was actually not a road. We students turned to a road. So if it has been a road, probably we'll have been able to get information. And the CCTV from Senate building didn't cover that area as well.
All right. And as we wrap up the conversation, Prof, have there been any reported cases of cultism in Bowen University? Or from the records, has there been any report made by this victim now of maybe a threat to life? And what exactly is the university management putting in place to prevent a recurrence?
This is the first time we are having such an incident. None before now. We've been watching, especially when when there was attack all over the country, we reduced the time that our student needs to be back in the hostel from 10 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we don't know for what reason in the last 3-4 weeks, we've been enforcing it. And we even enforce it to the extent that once it is dark, we don't expect a student to work alone. And we even forbid male and female students working alone once it is dark. We expect people to move in group just because of the general insecurity in the country. We never knew this would come this way. And there's not been any report from the candidate of any threat. But we are now trying to investigate through the friend he went to see at the other side and the roommates to know if there have been any threat to his life. But of course, there may be some family issues that we are not really into.
All right, then. Professor Jonathan Babalola, the Vice Chancellor of Bowen University, thank you very much for helping us understand the situation surrounding the death of this student. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We are very grateful.
You are watching TVC News at 1. Let's take a moment. When we come back, we have more stories lined up for you. Please stay with us.
Everyone, open your ears, make we talk. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know, I beg no be slow. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world? For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, it's your time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up and shine your smile. No more cover mouth. Because with Colgate, that's what do with your smile.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
They asked me how I came this far. I told them I had to sweat. Sweat is chasing your dreams. Sweat is never giving up. Sweat is action, but can also bring germs. That's why I use Dettol Cool Soap with 5 degrees cooling sensation. Summer heat brings body odor, but Dettol Cool protects you from 99.9% of illness-causing germs and keeps you fresh.
You're watching TVC News at 1. Let's remind you of our top stories. Federal High Court Abuja prescribes Lakurawa sect, classifies it a terrorist organization. Bowen University suspends examinations following death of one student in suspected attack. Outside Nigeria, rare red weather warnings issued as Storm Yowen batters UK and Ireland. And then sports. Thank you for staying with us. In Delta State, government is hard at work to mitigate flooding in Okwokoko, Ugolope, Osubi, and surrounding areas ahead of the rainy season. The Commissioner for Works, Charles Anyago, who was on an inspection tour of projects in Okwe and Saple local government areas, says efforts are underway to ensure the timely delivery of projects. Iken Namichi has more.
In his bid to addressing the perennial flooding in Delta State, Governor Sheriff Oborowori is embarking on this massive storm drainage project in Okokoko, Ugolope, Osubi, and nearby areas. Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information is here to inspect the extent of work, especially the critical discharge point into the river, which should be complete before the rains. He is impressed with the progress of work.
They're already backfilling, having constructed the storm drainage underground. So in a week's time, you may not see this again. It looks as if nothing has happened, but meanwhile, billions of naira is already sunk on the ground, under the ground, with a view to saving houses, opening up new opportunities for people to build along this corridor.
Ororokwe is the next stop for the inspection of roads and drains as the people express joy with the state government.
Before this release was started construction, we always suffer for flood before. But now that it's under construction, I think by the rainy season, I think water is going to flow well. And it's a very good work that the governor of Delta State is doing in our community here.
The assessment of the ongoing projects continues to Saple, where the Works Commissioner probed the construction work.
One of the things the state government is on the lookout for, especially in road and drainage project like this, is to check if it meets the standard requirements.
These and other requirements are what the commissioner is appraising as he visits road projects in Saple Metropolis.
The contractor is expected to deliver according to specification on all the quantity, in terms of quantities of items that are supposed to be deployed for the construction of these roads. And we are very, very particular about those quantities because those quantities control the amount of funds that we usually deploy for the construction of these different projects. We have pointed out a number of some areas where they need to make amends. In some places, we have informed contractors the need for them to demolish certain aspects of their drains.
Mr. Aniago, who was accompanied by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, commended the property owners on the right of way for cooperating with the government to ensure quality construction in the overall interest of the public. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News.
Let's now turn attention to Nasarawa State, where the government is assuring judiciary workers that the new national minimum wage of 70,500 naira will be implemented for them. This assurance is coming as other categories of workers in the state are already receiving the new wage. Senior reporter Gordon Agwam has details.
In December 2024, the National State government approved the implementation of 70,500 naira minimum wage for workers in the state. After the approval, the state government commenced immediate payment, and this excited the workers. But this is causing additions among staff of the judiciary who prefer to remain anonymous for fear of victimization. The workers are yet to benefit from the increase that comes with the new minimum wage. The National State chapter of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria agrees with the position of its workers, but says it is working out modalities with the government to commence payment.
Knowing that the people you join the struggle with, some are benefits, and you and your member are not, we were worried, or we are still worried. But the truth about it, it must follow process. The state government doesn't have our own data as into salaries. We prepared our salaries ourselves, so it is us that will feed them with the data, with the amount that is expected to be added to judiciary or House of Assembly or the tertiary institution, as the case may be.
Speaking exclusively to TVC News, the Executive Secretary of the Judicial Service Commission appealed for calm. He is confident that the judicial workers will soon benefit from the new minimum wage and assured that necessary arrangements have been made.
Immediately the minimum wage was approved, we submitted what is known as a memorandum to the Executive Governor requesting that payment be effected for our staff. And as we speak now, the memorandum is being attended to by His Excellency the Executive Governor. As soon as that is done, I'm sure that our minimum wage will be paid.
The assurances by the Judicial Service Commission and the union will calm the nerves of workers who are already agitated by the delayed payment of the new minimum wage. Godwin Agwam, TVC News, Lafia.
We'll now take a break from our regular programming to bring you a live transmission from the nation's capital, where the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, is inaugurating some rehabilitation projects in that area. Our news and other programs continues on our digital platforms and on our Ofcom channels.
Who has passed, the Honorable Minister Nyesom Wike says one of the biggest trees in the forest of Nigeria has fallen. May we observe 1 minute silence for the passing of this great man. May his soul rest in peace. Please be seated. Your Excellencies, Buhari remains a strong area council in Abuja with the presence of several national and local institutions. This is where the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board is located, as well as Veritas University and other top-level educational institutions. Today we gather, as we have done in the last 4 days in various area councils of the FCTA, not only to debunk, as the Honorable Minister would say, naysayers whose stock in trade is to say the FCTA administration is concentrating only in the city center. We kicked off with Abaji Council area, Kwali Council area, Gwagwalada, Kuje, And today, which is day 5, we have arrived in Buari for the commissioning of another stretch of roads to open up the communities. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this project commissioning, but one who is more positioned to deliver a welcome address is the coordinator of the Satellite Town Development Department, Honorable Zulkifil.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, my father, my mentor, and my boss, His Excellency Chief Barrister Ezewonye Somwike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State, Hajia Dr. Maria Mahmoud, Your Excellency, permit me to align myself with the well-established protocol. It is a great honor to stand before you today and extend a warm welcome to everyone present at the official commissioning ceremony of Gabatukulo Road construction with 2-span river bridge in Buari Area Council of the FCT. This important accomplishment aligns with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President and the vision of the current FCT administration to implement projects that transform rural areas and restore hope to residents of satellite towns and area councils. These projects represent a major milestone in that endeavor. On behalf of Satellite Towns Development Department, Federal Capital Territory Administration, we sincerely thank the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Chief Barrister Ezewonye Somwike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, for his steadfast dedication and passionate drive to the growth and developments of the satellite towns and area councils. Your inspiring leadership has restored hope and renewed the aspirations of our people. Your Excellency may wish to note that this contract was awarded on the 5th of January 2024 to Mrs. Setraco Nigeria Limited, while work commenced on the 12th of January 2024 with the following scope, Your Excellency: site clearance and earthworks, reinforced concrete pipes and box culverts of various sizes, reinforced concrete trapezoidal line drain, 150 mm thick lateritic sub-base, 150 mm thick crushed stone base, 50 mm asphaltic binder wearing course, stone pitching, lane marking, and lastly, bridge works. Your Excellency, this road has remarkably enhanced the rural environment by promoting small and medium-scale enterprises opportunities, improving the transportation of goods and services, amongst many others. Today, Your Excellency, Buari Area Council celebrates brighter future, peace, prosperity, connectivity, and togetherness. We deeply appreciate your steadfast commitment to bringing this vision to life. Thank you all for joining us today to witness and celebrate this momentous occasion. May God Almighty bless us all. May God Almighty bless us all. Once again, thank you for the opportunity, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much indeed. Honorable Zulkifil, who is coordinator STDD, who is the responsible for the oversights of the area council development projects for the FCT. We thank him so very much. It's time now for us to invite for goodwill the chairman, Setraco Limited, Chief Abu Enu Umoru, to deliver his own goodwill. Setraco are the contractors to this project. Please give him a hand as he makes his way. It's a long walk.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezewonye Somwike, CON, the Honorable Minister of State, FCT Dr. Maria Mahmoud, permit me, Your Excellencies, to stand on the existing protocol. On behalf of the board of Cetraco and the entire staff of Cetraco Nigeria Limited, I wish to express our profound appreciation to Your Excellency for the confidence reposed on our company, Cetraco, through the award of this contract. The emergency construction of Gaba Tokolo Road within the Buhari Area Council was awarded to our company on the 5th of January 2024, and project was successfully completed in December 2024, 2 weeks ahead of the scheduled completion date. This achievement would not have been possible without the cooperation and the support of the Honorable Minister, who ensured that prompt payments are made as at when due. We are also grateful to the management of the staff of Satellite Towns Development Department of the FCT for making this project seamless to deliver. In addition, we extend our gratitude to the people of Gaba, Tokolo, and the surrounding communities for being part of our workforce and for their cooperation in creating a conducive environment for our operations. The completion of this road is a testament to the Honorable Minister's unwavering support to providing infrastructure across every part of the Federal Capital Territory in line with Mr. President's renewed hope agenda. This project will in no doubt provide ease in transportation and further boost the commercial activities of this area and the entire FCT. Honorable Minister, sir, we share your vision of developing top-class infrastructure within the FCT, and we are delighted to continue partnering with you in delivering quality projects that benefit the populace. Long live Nigeria, long live the President, and long live our FCT Minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Cetraco, Chief Abu Eno Umaru. To continue with our goodwill messages, we'll call on the chief beneficiary of this project. If you look further afield, you'll see the mountains of Buhari and such a beautiful sight to behold to your left, as all the roads are that are being commissioned in the last couple of days. At this point, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to bring to the podium for his own goodwill the Chairman, Buhari Area Council, Honorable Dr. John Kabaya.
The Honorable Minister, Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Chief Barrister Ezenwo Yeltsin Wike, the Life Bencher, Mr. Project, the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory, Dr. Maria Mahmoud, the mother of Federal Capital Territory, and our mama of hard work. All members of National Assembly present here, the Chief of Staff to the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, the Chairman FCT Civil Service Commission here present with us, the Head of Service, the STDD Coordinator, all the mandate secretaries here present, all the permanent secretaries present here, all my colleagues of the councils, that's the council's chairmen, who are all here today to support me. May God bless you all. The distinguished personalities here, most especially the one and the only senator who we have and we know in Buhari Area Council, in Abaji Area Council, in Gwagwalada Area Council, Kuje, and all other area councils. The 6 area council, we have one senator that we know and that we can see he's present at all times. It's no other person, the distinguished senator. I don't call his name, but you people know the reason why I don't call the name. But because of this, the distinguished Senator Aduda, who is here with yours, you are highly welcome, sir. Please permit me to stand on already existing protocol that have been laid down. With great pleasure and humility, I joyfully want to welcome our Honorable Minister and the Honorable Minister of State to this wonderful commissioning of Gabatokulo Road today. Your Excellency, sir, we are indeed grateful. This flag of today, we have tried to term it, we try to see what we can classify it as, but we are lack of words. But we want to say to you, sir, it's more than important to the people of Buhari Area Council what you are doing to us today. We want to say thank you. Sir, this flag off that we are doing today, sir, it might interest you to know that when we were at the dark, that was then. Many people have gone on this river. Whenever we are going to market, we don't have access to market. People that are living in this road. Sir, you have come to wipe away our tears. We want to say to you, we are grateful. May Almighty God bless you. In the 5 area councils we have gone round, some of you have Dobale. Some of us have even slept face down. Some of us have even flexed their face up because of the gratitude to what you have done to the people of the FCT. And let me tell you, sir, you see, human beings are very difficult. Human beings at times are animals. But then, you know, people were saying, look at Chairman Dobale for the Honorable Minister. Is this his Kasawa's farm from River State that he sold and we're doing these projects? That is human being for you. We have had so many FCT ministers in the past. Sir, it may interest you to know that in our record of Federal Capital Territory, the only person that we even used to consider that have done so much to the people of Federal Capital Territory was El-Rufai. But I want to tell you, you have shown El-Rufai that you are the master of all. We want to say to you, we are grateful. We have never had, and I don't think we may have. And we want to say to you, sir, we are grateful. Your Excellency, sir, our people are internally grateful for this gesture and for many other good things you have done to the people of Buhari Area Council. Honestly, no record across the 6 area councils, cutting across the 6 area councils, either urban or rural, that have done this kind of gesture to us. At all, there is no one. No one. And we don't know whether there will be. Even if there will be, may God bring it in the mighty name of Jesus. Your Excellency, sir, many people have called you with so many names. Many call you naked wear. Some people will call you transformer. Some people will call you WIW. But the people of Buhari have tagged you one name also to join others. That is, you are an embodiment of the Renew Hope agenda of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCIR. We will forever be grateful for all you have done for us. Sir, when a child wants to ask you for a particular thing, or he wants to plead for assistance, a good child must definitely show his father what he has done before he will now say, Baba, add to me. With the strength and the power of God, with what you have been doing to us, sir, and Her Excellency, the Minister of State, I want to let you know that these are some of the projects we in Buhari Area Council we have done. The little we can, we have done. And we will expect, by the grace of God, we will invite you and the Honorable Minister of State to come and commission these projects for us, because these are reality on ground. By the grace of God, sir, we have asphalted the second phase of Igushere Kawu Road. We have also upgraded and remodeled the Buhari Slaughter's house. We have asphalted the Duse Koro power line. Completely, these projects I'm mentioning, they are completely done. It's not halfway. Also, we have asphalt Kubwa Extension 3B Market Road. Completion of some portion of first part of Buhari Township Road. We have done it. And if you go there right now, the work is ongoing for the remaining last phase. Sir, we want to say to you, we are grateful. If we are to ask again, that come and add to us, to what you have done, sir, it's not as if we are saying you have not done much, but we are requesting that if God grant you the power, if God grant you the strength, sir, we have so many projects that we want you to come in. Even though we know that ongoing rehabilitation of Buhari dual carriageway from Duse down to Buhari, who is doing it? Mr. Who? Ongoing construction of road, of old road, that is Ushafa Old Road, Pambara Jigwa Road to National War College. Who is doing it? The people of Buhari. When I say who is doing this, answer me all and say who? Your Excellency, sir, you did not stop there. The construction of two concrete, and in fact, I don't know how to describe it. The two police station divisions he has given to us, one in Wushafa and one in Igu. Sir, we want to say to you, we are grateful. And recently, your approval of that you grant to us for the Skill Acquisition Center in Kuduru, sir, that alone, even if it is just that alone, we want to say to you, we are grateful. Indeed, Father, we want to say, Honorable Minister, God Almighty will reward you. Your Excellency, sir, we are much impressed by your great track record of extraordinary achievement as public officer, and we wish to respectfully commend you and encourage you to continue on this path of dedication and service to humanity. While thanking you for always being there for us and our people in FCT, I would like to humbly and most respectfully make a plea for Your Excellency, for Your Excellency's assistance with respect to the following. Sir, my father who gave birth to me is seated among us here. He has been kidnapped twice because of lack of this road. We are standing today to say, sir, if not you, maybe we that we are living in this axis, we would have been gone. We want to say to you, by the grace of God, as I earlier said, from the beginning, when he came for the flag of this road on 2nd of February, 2024, in less than a year, he's commissioning this road today. We want to plead that if it is possible, Your Excellency, sir, we have the remaining road about 10 to 11 kilometers in order to meet up with Kawu, who is boundary with the Kaduna state. By the grace of God, sir, if you can do this for us, we will be grateful. Sir, Your Excellency, sir, we have a second road that has been troubling us. We have Kubwa Onyx Road from Kubwa Biajin that links to the law school, Nigerian law school here. So this is the only access that we have. If there is alternative, Maybe if the road is blocked in Buhari, we have no other alternative except we pass through the law school down to Kubwa. Sir, if you can do this for us, we will be grateful. Indeed, it might look as if we are not grateful. Sir, we know and God knows that we are grateful to what you have been doing to us. We pray that God Almighty will grant you the strength to do all that we are requesting in Federal Capital Territory. We pray that God Almighty will continue to shield you, Your Excellency, from every evil weapons that have stand against you. May God bless you and may God keep us all. Thank you for coming to Buhari Area Council. Thank you and may God bless you. For the Dobale and that of First Down that people have been saying we are doing to you and is penning them, just like you used to say that whoever hates you should go and hide himself in transformer. I knelt down to say, Baba, we are grateful. Thank you and God bless you all. Our people have given you award here. They say it is the award. They don't have anything to offer to you. But this, our people have presented to you the best honorable minister of Federal Capital Territory ever before we have had. There is no other, just like I've said. And we have the baggy clothes for Mama and Papa. Therefore, the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory and Her Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State. After the program, we are going to give you this thing. We'll put it quietly in your bag so that you go and hang it in your home. But these are our people from Takulo community that have come to say to you, we are grateful. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you, Buhari Area Council Chair. He has said he will put the gift in the Honorable Minister's bag so that he will put it in his house when it is time. Thank you very much. You may return now. Thank you very much indeed. We appreciate Dr. John Gabaya, Chairman Area Council, Buhari Area Council, who has brought his people to say such a great thank you to the Honorable Minister. Mungode, Mungode, Sanunku, Akuko Mabaya Nyanzu, Sanu Mungode Kwara de Gaskia. Sanunku, Honorable Minister, they are wishing you well. They are telling you thank you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we sit on the shoulders of our forebears, and FCT is grateful for the hard work and foresight of the now departed former FCT Minister General J.T. Useni. As you can see, for the government and the administration of the FCT, the Honorable Minister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike is the chief mourner. And you can see that he's dressed to the nines in respect to the late departed former minister. Your Excellency, man continues to trudge on because life itself, as they say, is a journey. To offer thanks for life, for friends, for moral support, for service to nation, for compatriots and all those who made this project a reality, especially the #1 citizen, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, led in chief in FCT by the Honorable Minister of the FCT. I'd like to welcome to the podium the amiable FCT Minister of State, Dr. Maria Mahmood, for her vote of thanks.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Ezenwo Wike, CON, the Baradam Buhari, all members of the National Assembly that are here, serving and former, our royal fathers, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Once again, today is a moment of great pride and joy as we gather to mark the commissioning of the construction of Gabotokolo Road within 2 span river bridges, 5 kilometers within Buhari area council in our nation's capital city. First and foremost, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the federal government under the able leadership of His Excellency, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his immense support and directions towards the development of our rural infrastructure in our various communities. All these projects executed in the FCT as a clear testament to your commitment to improving the lives of our people by enhancing connectivity and facilitating economic growth. Similarly, a special thanks to His Excellency Barrister Wike CON, Mr. Project Baradam Buhari, and all members of the National Assembly for their vision and relentless effort to see this initiative come to fruition. Your leadership has become instrumental in turning this dream into a reality. We also appreciate the staff of the satellite town, from the coordinator, engineers, contractors, and workers who have labored day and night to meet up with the deadline of this significant project. Your expertise and dedication has ensured that these projects are not only completed, but to the highest standard, providing long-lasting benefit for generations to come. To our traditional rulers, community members, and local authorities, thank you for your support, patience, and cooperation in this endeavor. Your role in ensuring the smooth implementation of this project cannot be overstated. Finally, let us not forget the impacts this development will have on our community. The road and bridges will open up new opportunities for trade, education, healthcare access, and overall mobility. This is more than just infrastructure, but a pathway to progress and prosperity. Once again, thank you for all being part of this significant achievement, and may this project bring the positive changes we envisage. Thank you very much. May God bless all of you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister of State for the FCT, Dr. Maria Mahmood, for always delivering eloquently the vote of thanks. Your Excellencies, amongst international organizations and in high government circles, there is what is called needs assessment. It is a thoroughbred form of governance to provide projects not just based on requirements for the community, but based on the needs of the people. The residents and peoples of the FCT area councils are pleased with the Honorable Minister of the FCT and his team's candor. Minister Wike sits with area council chairmen and the good citizens of the council to determine where they feel a project is much needed. This is heartwarming. So the more you travel to see the wonders of the FCT area councils, the terrain, the ambience, the tapestry, and the sheer beauty of our land, the more you understand the needs assessment that the Honorable Minister puts in place. Remember that Honorable Minister of the FCT arrived at these projects through a collaborative process. With the strong arm of the #1 citizen, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Honorable Minister of FCT gives us a breathtaking view of Abuja Council areas, which some of us have never seen before. It's time now for us to invite the Honorable Minister, FCT, Ezenwonye Wike, to officially commission the newly constructed road.
Wike is walking. Wike is walking. Oh, Abuja is changing. Abuja is changing.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State of the Federal